Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a home game against our rivals Liverpool, and we follow it up with a Europa League tie against Atletico Bilbao. It's our first tie of the Europa League as well, so very important that we go into that and try and get a win. Since you're with us, we've only had a few matches. We lost 1-0 against Manchester City. We managed a 1-0 win away at Crystal Palace. We really struggled to get shots on the goal for that one. So we changed it up into the 4-3-3 that we were using when we were at Mönchengladbach. And yes, it's only Swindon, but we were away against Swindon. And the first half, we did the 4-2-3-1. We managed to get a goal at the end of the first half, but Swindon were probably arguably the better team at half time. But then when we switched to the 4-3-3, we really took advantage of it and we ended up with a 3-0 win away from home. So going into these two matches today, I'm hopeful that we can get a good result, at least against Bilbao. But obviously with just one win in our opening three Premier League matches, having just changed to the 4-3-3 setup, I'm not entirely sure how exactly it'll go. But we know this system works. Granted, not necessarily um, with Manchester United, but it certainly worked a little bit better um, at Mönchengladbach. So we'll just see how we get on, really, and go from there. Um, we did make our signing. Abbas Hadjo did come in for £69 million. One or two of the fringe players that we were trying to get rid of, they eventually left as well. There was no further business after that. So what you see is what we've got until we get to January, and then we'll have to reevaluate at that point. So for today's game against Liverpool, we've got Whitbread in goal, Romano, Dixon, Capelli and Bainar at the back, Cook, Gluck and Youngbluth in the midfield with Medina and Luis Guillem out wide and Sesko up front. Central midfield is a bit of a weak spot for us at the moment, but we have got players that can come off the bench and play in that role as well. Hayes isn't in the squad today, despite a good performance against Swindon. Hadjo is on the bench today. His passing ability is not the best, but he is a very solid defensive midfield player. So Cook could always move a little bit further forward, and we just jiggle things around a little bit because Dixon can also play in that midfield role. So we've got we've certainly got manoeuvrability in the side. It's just a case of finding our rhythm and trying to get consistency to our game. Obviously, the rough fixtures that we've had at the start of this season are certainly something to take note of. So going into this game, we want a win, obviously, but it is Liverpool. We know it'll be a difficult match for us, but can we find a way of getting ourselves going? In terms of the 4-2-3-1, going forward, we looked quite toothless. We didn't really create an awful lot of opportunities. And like I say, yes, it was only against Swindon, but we were a completely different team in the second half of that game, and we created a lot more opportunities. Medina here with a corner, swinging it in toward the near post. Sesko was there with the header, and it's just gone over the crossbar. Obviously, our advantage from set pieces is we do target the big men like Sesko, but because he's one of the taller players in the squad, the fact that we're targeting him for these set pieces will hopefully work out well for us. Szoboszlai with a free kick, flying just over the crossbar. It's Liverpool's first opportunity at goal, but overall we have dominated proceedings. It is good to see. Romano here into Oscar, and now Cook just holds on to it. Couldn't quite get the ball past Jeremy Pino, and now it's Oscar again. That's a lovely delivery, and Sesko should be scoring from there. It's come for Youngbluth, and it's blocked again and cleared. And Bainar does pick it up, and we've got a free kick. Medina into Luis Guillem. Chance to get it into the penalty area, and Sesko again, this time from a couple of yards out, smashes it straight into one of the defenders, and it's out for another corner. We're certainly the dominant side so far. But again, we just seem to be lacking a little bit in confidence up front. A few of the players are still unhappy at the club, of course, and that'll be constant throughout the whole campaign, practically, because obviously we need to get into Champions League qualification for next season. So it's going to be difficult, I think, in terms of the mentality of the squad as Oscar Gluck finds the ball into the penalty area. And again, Cisco missing his opportunity. And the referee's blown for a foul on Sesko, apparently, and not Guilherme. But Guilherme's the man down, but we have got a penalty. And it's going to be Benjamin Sesko to take. And it's a big opportunity here for Sesko, and he smashes it into the back of the net. Tarati did go the right way, in fact, but he couldn't keep it out. And we have taken the lead here against Liverpool just before half-time, a vital time to get the goal, really. And our dominance finally pays off. We have a lead, albeit it is from a penalty kick, but like I say, we have dominated proceedings. In terms of our number of opportunities compared to Liverpool's, we have done very, very well here. And hopefully we can continue this in the second half and finish the job, really. We need to be taking advantage of all of these chances. And I'm looking at Medina at the moment because he's a key player for us, but he's not performing with it. He really, really isn't performing well at the moment, and he's only rating a 6.5 so far. The rest of the midfield is having a fantastic game. And unfortunately, Guilherme is struggling now for fitness as well. That's a good delivery, and Medina's header goes over the crossbar. Really well worked delivery. It remains 1-0. We are going to have to make some changes, though, I think. And again, Medina, extremely disappointing. Juan Cruz Moral can come on for him. We're going to get Sheprach on, excuse me, sorry, onto that right-hand side. And, I mean, to be fair, in terms of actual player fitness, we're not looking too bad. We've done pretty well today, just to maintain. We'll make the 2 changes out wide, get the fresh legs on, and hopefully we can create some more opportunities. Youngblood has now started to struggle for fitness. So again, we'll just pause there. It's only 5 minutes down the line, of course, but we will take Youngblood off and get Rob Dahl on in the midfield. He's more of an attacking midfielder, Rob Dahl. So it's going to be a bit of a transition for him. And I think, to be fair, we'll get Alberto Siles on for Gluck as well, give him an opportunity. In terms of actual defensively, we've had poor performances. But again, Liverpool not really creating an awful lot. They've had the 1 shot on target, 4 attempts at goal. We are up to 17 attempts now, 7 on target. Diaz here, though, with a delivery, swung in toward the far post. We managed to get it partially clear, and the header in the end was from Alexander-Arnold, I believe, and it went over the bar. But this is a statement here. We've completely outplayed Liverpool. Yes, we only got the 1 goal, and it was from the penalty spot. But that was a very dominant performance, and it certainly gives us something to build on, especially considering the way that we've started the campaign. But defensively, we're looking pretty strong, to be fair. Yes, we got beat 2-0 by Arsenal. It was a defensive mix-up in the first place, and then a well-worked goal at the end of the match. The City one was a wonder goal. Otherwise, we'd have drawn that game 0-0. Obviously, Crystal Palace we beat by 1-0, and now we've won by 1-0 against Liverpool. So defensively, we're not looking too bad. In terms of squad registration for Europe as well, by the way, everyone's in, apart from Griffith, our young right back, but he qualifies to play anyway because he's under 21. So again, not a problem for that. So, oh great. So Youngblood wants to play more football. So we're going to have a look into that. So I'll just get these next few days, and we've got a Thursday night match to come against Athletic Bilbao. So hopefully we can continue and just build a bit of momentum and get off to a good start in our European campaign. Okay then, guys, here we go for the game against Atletico de Bilbao. I was just having a look to see what kind of teams we're looking at in the Europa League. There's some decent sides in here. Celtic, of course, had the beating of us in the Champions League the other year when we were at Mönchengladbach. The likes of Roma are in the competition, Villarreal. Obviously, ourselves and Bilbao probably will consider themselves one of the tournament favourites as well. PSV, Eindhoven, FC Porto, Wolfsburg, Monaco. So there's some decent sides in here. We're going to have to really be careful depending on the kind of fixtures that we've been provided. So we need to get off to a good start. We are rotating a little bit from that Premier League game that we had against Liverpool. Whitbread remains in goal. Romano, Van Heck, Capelli and Correa come in at the back. Hadjo, Seals and Youngblood are in the midfield with Tell, Guilherme and Sesko as the front three. I'm not too sure how to say his name at the moment. Alberto Siles? Siles? I don't know. We'll find a way that suits and go from there. But in terms of the starting lineup, we should do quite well today. Obviously, everything is set up as we'd want. Dixon and Biner miss out despite being at full fitness today. There's a few players still struggling a little bit mentally at the moment, and it's going to be one of them situations that we're just going to have to find a way to deal with it. We have got to rotate as well. So despite one or two players not being happy about our starting lineup today, we need to rotate. We have got to give a full allotment of rotation to the side and allow for that rotation purely because otherwise we're going to have to sell half the squad again. So we've done the hardest job, which was this transfer window. We've completely rejigged everything, and it's going to be a case of settling things down and then signing as and when we need to. And Hajo into Youngblood, and there is his first goal of the season. He had a decent pre-season, I might add, to be fair, Youngblood. But he opens the scoring here, 8.5 minutes gone, and somewhat of a relief. It's a goal from open play. A very well worked goal. Hajo just laid it into him. It's a very neat finish into the back of the net. And he's not the best player that we've got, Youngblood, but at the same time, I've got a bit of a soft spot for him because, like I say, we have had him previously when we were at Mönchengladbach. So he's the kind of player that I do want to have stick around at the moment. Here's Zubelaga. Back to Unai Simon. Vivian. Into Leon. Williams Jr. back to Leon again. They're holding the ball quite well at the moment, Bilbao. We have got to be a little bit careful, but we are putting the pressure on. Sensei let it run. Capelli managing to clear, but only as far as Vivian. And now Williams Jr. with a chance to run at the fullback. And he's passing him with ease at the moment. Tries to play it in. Oh, Capelli, what are you doing? He completely just left the ball there, and it fell for Sariegi. And Bilbao have their equaliser, but that was so poor from Capelli at the back there. And a very similar error to what happened in the Arsenal game at the start of the season as well. So, again, defensively, I'm really happy with the signings, don't get me wrong. But, again, we're just, I don't know, a little bit of complacency maybe. I'm really not sure. It's a bit of a strange one, but we'll have to keep tabs on that as Luis Guilherme charges down this right side into the penalty area and lays it across to Sesko. It's a very well taken goal, to be fair. Very good attack down this right hand side. And we re-establish our lead. But hopefully our defenders won't throw anything away this time round. Luis Guilherme doing very, very well. Straight to the byline. Managing to cut it back. Sesko not marked particularly tightly, and it's an easy finish for him. We re-establish our lead, and we need to build on it now. That goal, by the way, from Bilbao is their only attempt that they've had as well. So, well, they've just had a few more. Obviously, as soon as I say something, these things happen, don't they? So, but I certainly can't complain. So far, so good. The target is to go out there and win. And so far, that is what we're doing. We have got to be a little bit careful in the second half. It's only a 1-goal advantage. But hopefully, we can find a way to get through this second half. I'll let the lads know that we're happy with the way things are going. Because we are, like I say, we have been the better side. Both sides creating relatively even amount of chances. But in terms of possession, we've not been particularly good today. And we are going to have to be a little bit careful. If Bilbao do find a way back into this game, we are going to have to really lay into the side at the moment. Leon into Williams Jr. Tried to play it down this side. Hajo doing well to intercept. And now Siles into Tell. Hajo into Youngblood. And now Luis Guilherme. Well played into Correa. He's got support ahead of him. Guilherme's trying to make the run. Correa not getting the necessary support. And he lays it all the way back to Hajo. trying to get down that right-hand side, and again, not quite making the run stick, and it's laid back to Capelli, and now Sailez into Sesko, and that's another really nice finish. Benjamin Sesko starting to find his feet maybe. I think he timed his run, and he did. He timed it perfectly, in fact. Really well played there. Capelli with the pass into Sailez, and he laid it in, and Sesko with a first-time finish on his left foot. Unai Simon completely wrong-footed, and we have established a two-goal advantage now, and we're looking a little more comfortable. But again, a two-goal lead is just as bad as a one-goal lead. We can't afford to rest on our laurels. Matthias Tell just about unlucky in trying to win the ball back there, but now Williams Jr. trying to come down this right-hand side, plays it inside to Perez. Williams Jr. made a good run there, and it wasn't tracked either. Torrientes into Sunset, and he smashed it off the crossbar. And again, we're just letting our guard down here. Guillem doing well with the challenge, and it's out for a throw. 30 seconds after we scored, and Bilbao were nearly back into it again. Youngblood a little bit poor there in terms of keeping hold of possession and loses out. Sunset into Letzia. Coming down this right-hand side, and again, Correa completely beaten there, and the ball's been played in, and Sariegi with the finish. And again, Bilbao find their way back into it, and again, defensively, I'm not feeling particularly comfortable. We've got top quality in there, but again, we're not quite getting that level of consistency that we need. Midfield and everything, absolutely fine. We'll bring Morel on the left-hand side in that attacking midfield. Capelli's going to come off because he's not had a good game today. Yerushalmi can come on for him. We'll just switch him and Van Heck around. And to be quite honest, we need to make changes in the midfield as well. Who have we got? I mean, we've got Gluck and Hayes in there. I think, to be fair, we'll get Gluck on for Siles. I mean, he's saying Siles has had a good game, but I don't think he's particularly done an awful lot to warrant that. Hadjo, again, he's had a decent game. How tall is Hadjo, by the way? 6'4". Let's think. Think. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it says Guillem can play central midfield. No, he can't. In comparison to the others, no, he can't. We'll get Gluck on a bit of experience in that central midfield. Yerushalmi can come on at centre-back because Capelli has had a poor game today. We've demanded a bit more as well. And we'll see what happens from here as Van Heck picks up the ball. Hadjo into Youngblood. Luis Guillem. That's a nice little pass into Sesko, and he does hold the ball up well there. And now Luis Guillem, he's not got a lot of support in the penalty area. Lays it back to Correa, who does beat his man this time. And again, it's a poor pass until let's see it into Sanse. And now Sariegi. Good interception by Capelli. Van Heck into Siles. And now Sesko. That's a great hit from Sesko, and it's off the woodwork in the end. It was a bit of a snapshot, really. It's been a very even game, this one, and I am a little bit concerned that we might be taking it a little too lightly. The squad's certainly strong enough, but again, we just seem to be lacking something at the moment, and I'm not too sure what it is. Sesko's header just over the crossbar. I mean, a win's a win at the end of the day, and it'll be a very hard-fought win today. And we've managed to do it in the end at 3-2. A brace for Sesko, a nice little goal at the start of the game for Youngblood as well. Sariegi getting a brace, and 24-year-old Spanish international, £127 million they want for him. He's not, I mean, he's a good finisher, and he's got a lot of pace about him as well, but other than that, technically, he's not the best, but overall, reasonably happy. 2 wins on the bounce, Liverpool and Athletic Bilbao in the Europa League. Again, it doesn't matter how we win in the Europa League, just that we do. And we have got an opportunity to certainly finish top 8 in this competition. What a game that was. Hibernian played Aris Salonika and finished 7-4. What a mad game that was to be a part of, I can see. Other than that, a fair few close matches. Porto won 3-2 in the end, away at PSV Eindhoven. A couple of 4-2s in there as well. So Wolfsburg, Monaco, who we mentioned before as well, 1-1 draw for those two sides. So we've certainly got a lot to look forward to, I think. Again, we just need to find a bit of a rhythm, but this 4-3-3 certainly seems to be the better option for the squad at the moment. We'll certainly get some games under our belt. We've actually got a few decent Premier League games coming up that we should do well in. Um, I don't want to come back too soon, of course. We'll probably get a few league games out of the way. There's a couple of Europa League games in there as well. And I think, to be honest, um, it's just because of the number of matches. I think we'll probably come back for the Carabao Cup. It's a bit of a nothing game, really. Championship side Coventry. So we could come back for that one and the home game against Southampton. And then we'll push on a little bit again after that. We've got a tough game against Villarreal in there as well in the Europa League. What else have we actually got? I mean, to be fair, looking at those Europa League fixtures, Shakhtar might be a challenge. Villarreal's definitely the hardest one out of that. So we'll definitely come back around the Carabao Cup tie. I'll make a decision on which games exactly, and then I'm looking at that Villarreal game after that. In all honesty, and then we'll see how we've shaped up in the meantime. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.